God, it's friends living well.
We're just girls. We're just fucking girls. And I've never claimed to be anything but a stupid girl. We're just girls.
We were just at the event and Courtney walks up with this Pocono Mountain and she's like, "Hey, I'm Courtney and I have gifts for you guys." It was the biggest surprise. I felt so spoiled. Like, this is what women do. I'm in the middle of the woods on the Wissahickon Trail and Courtney just pops out of nowhere with her wagon of water and her gifts. Also, within 3 seconds of being there, somebody was like, what's maple water? What is that? And she had the speech that she gave, and then they were so interested. Then his grandkids came over, and the kids tried the water, and they loved it. It was so cool. She's amazing.
Oh, so fun. Yeah. Courtney's actually been with me for goodness, probably almost 5 years almost now. So Courtney knows all the ins and outs. It's been so great. I'll be like, "Hey, can you run this or can you do this?" And she loves to drive and she's got family down in Philly. So she's like, "I'll drive down to Philly. I'll bring that."
Love her so much. And she has so much love for you too. She was just beaming. She's like, "That's my best friend. And she does this and she does that. And she's built this company." She got so much love for you.
So great. No, she's great.
All right, welcome everybody. Episode 35 of Friends Living Well. Thank you for being here. And this is a production of Full Living Wellness, which I'm a co-founder of. If you are looking for services like individual therapy or couples and family, coaching services for ADHD or parenting coaching, we also have group therapy. You can check us out at www.fulllivingwellness.com, and that information will be in the caption. As I want to welcome a very special guest that we have with us.
I'm Nicole Bentler. I'm one of the founders of Pocono Maple Water. I help also run a 450-acre maple farm in Pennsylvania, one of the largest organic maple farms. We do a lot of maple syrup. We also do tours and tastings on the weekends, but the maple water is really our front runner, and it's really starting to take off, and we're super excited to see her starting to run and get her legs.
It's been really fun to see people try it. And I know I told you when I first met you that because of my husband having Slavic backgrounds, we were already familiar with water that can come from a tree. Over there, it's birch water, and there's so many benefits from drinking it too. It's a really fun tradition, but most people have no idea about it. Could you tell us a little bit about what Pocono maple water is? How do you source it?
Yeah, no, so like you said, almost nobody knows. I tell people, if you tried maple water, you're like one of the top 5%. Almost nobody has actually tried maple water unless you're from Canada or Vermont or New Hampshire, or you grew up in a family that does maple. Basically, maple water or sap has been around for hundreds of years. Native Americans used to use it, so it's not a new product. We haven't reinvented the wheel. It's been around forever. Basically, it's the very first thing that comes out of the tree, and it's very much like spring water. It has a very subtle maple finish, but it's only 2% sugar, so it's not very sweet. A lot of times people think it's going to be super sweet. It's not sweet at all. And 100 years ago, you couldn't really get sugar in the Northeast. So maple syrup, it made more sense to boil it down to make maple syrup. Now, because of where we are in our society, really having clean water and good fresh water and something that's transparently sourced, I think is more of a hot button issue. We still do maple syrup. We still do everything maple, but we wanted to offer maple water because it's so fresh and it's so good for you. Literally, as you drink it, you can feel your body recognizes it and is able to absorb a lot of the minerals and vitamins that are coming from the soils. It's literally one of the cleanest sources of water that you can get on the planet. It literally gets filtered by the tree, and all we do is collect it and bottle it and goes right to your doorstep.
And I feel like, obviously, as a society, we've done so much to advance and to be able to do things like have endless sugar options and water options. But at the same time, part of that learning process has been discovering that there's some really unhealthy effects to manufacturing and how we're doing these things and devastation on our planet. And so then we're coming back to roots again of be more local, source things more naturally. I feel like many conversations, I don't know if it's just in my personal life, like when you buy a new car and then you see that car everywhere.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm hearing so many conversations right now about water quality, about people being concerned about their local water, about how to filter and what kind of systems are even safe to use. And to know that this one has a very natural one, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, it really is incredible, and no, it's wild. We bought the farm almost 9 years ago, and we always knew we wanted to branch in, and we want to be able to offer sap and maple water. And really, the last 5 years has been trying to develop and get this product to market, and it's been incredible. I feel like the last 18 months, especially, it's like such a hot button issue. The microplastics and what's in the water. This bottled water company tested positive for this. The universe has kind of led us to this point where I think people are really starting to ask the questions. I started talking about this 3 years ago or 4 years ago when we were really starting to get the ball rolling with it. And I was like, think about it like, or the organic food movement 15, 20 years ago when we were talking about organic food, everyone was like, nobody's going to buy organic. Like, nobody cares. And then
Non-existent.
you fast forward to today, and that's all anybody will buy is organic. They want to know where their food's sourced from. We're given water at such a young age. We don't even think to ask the question. And I think, people are starting to be more aware of everything that you're putting into your body really triggers how well your body's going to function cognitively, wellness, everything. So it's just like anything, like you're putting fuel into your car. You want to put the best that you can get in there.
And I guess that really is born from the idea of the wellness movement we've seen people take on more, is to be more mindful with your body and to think of yourself and how you're caring for yourself. And with that, we're asking questions we never have before. Like, I remember just taking those like cheap plastic, I can hear them in my head, that like squeaky sound that those cheap plastic bottles would make of the water. And you never thought anything of it. And now we know, like, oh, there could potentially be some dangerous things, especially if it's been sitting out in the sun and in the heat for a nice long time.
Yeah, no, and I remember even when we were kind of going down this this whole thing with like what bottle we were going to end up in, and we were looking at plastic bottles, because of how inexpensive they were, and I was like, absolutely not, I never want to be in plastic. But it was wild to me because like they actually sell them. They're like nickels. And what happens is they like blow it up with air and then they're filling it within seconds of blowing this bottle up. And it's like, how many microplastics are in that? Like, it's got to be so terrible for you. So, yeah, there's so much that goes into things behind the scenes. And I think because of how advanced we are as a society, and we're just going to the grocery store and we're not necessarily thinking about what steps it takes to get to your doorstep and, what the process looks like.
And it sounds like as you got deeper into the steps of manufacturing, that educated you all the more, and then you became more passionate about wanting to make an alternative. And I know even how you package it, there was a lot that came behind this. And what led you to that?
Yeah, so Tetra Pak is really an amazing brand. It's probably the lesser of all the evils. Not all of them are going to be perfect. I think glass is the best. If you were to be talking to the other co-founder Dante, who's amazing, if it wasn't for him, this product wouldn't exist. He's incredible, but he was always like glass, 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 and I was like, glass is amazing, but we can't ship it. And I had always envisioned this of that you could order it online and it goes directly to your door. You don't have to think about it, and that way you have it and it's readily available. And so maybe down the line we might do some stuff in glass, but I also really wanted to be in this 2-3 years ago, probably maybe even like 4 years ago. Those like really sexy aluminum cans were out with
Yes.
like this screw top, and I was like, that's what we need to be in. I can see us like in Pilates studios and yoga studios and like the fitness realm and like everybody having them. And Dante was like, absolutely not, we don't want to be in aluminum. Aluminum's not good for you. There's like a lot of health issues. And he's like, I can take you down a whole other rabbit hole. He's like, you really don't want to be in aluminum, Nicole. But it just looks so good. And that's like where the industry's going and it's
Yes.
trending. And I think it's Spring Valley Spring Water is in glass and aluminum. And I went and I bought both of them and I did a taste test of the aluminum and their glass, and you could taste the metals in the water. If you're grabbing it out of the refrigerator and you're just drinking it, you wouldn't even think about it. But when I did side by side comparison, I was like, okay, that's definitely out. We're not going to be in aluminum. So yeah. And then I also really wanted to be in a really large container because I'm like, I want to get in all of my hydration for the day. I never drink enough. If I open up a big bottle of water, like your idea is like, I'm going to be forced to drink all of it, which we never really do. Everyone always just ends up leaving the bottle of water. It still has like
Especially
this.
that last little sip. Does any?
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of went back and forth on that for a minute, and we did a small R&D that was like a little bit of a larger size. I think it was 16 ounce. And, we kind of got the same feedback that it was like too big and they didn't love it. And then we landed on this and we've had so many people that I love it. I can throw it in my kids' lunchbox. Like they can take it to sports, they can take it to baseball practice and like they're not worried about it breaking. Like that was the other thing with glass is like if we were in glass, you wouldn't be able to necessarily transport it anywhere. There you can take it to a baseball game, you can take it wherever. And it fits so nicely like in your bag and you don't have to it's not this giant, we're all here with like our Yetis these
Big
days.
jugs of things and
Yeah. And
gosh,
I like spill and I leave. Like I've lost more yet, like the more of those, like I'm like, I give up. I'm like,
right?
bring my maple water and that's it.
It's so convenient. I know I've been bringing them to training for jujitsu all week, and the glass would never work because any kind of gym environment, jujitsu, you're going to be knocking stuff over. People are going to be walking into stuff, and that's the last thing you need is a glass headache.
Yeah, and someone like especially when it comes to like little kids, they get caught. Like you're like, yeah, and I think, I get this question a lot of like, where do you see the farm, in the next, 3 to 5 years? And I think for me, like I think, we have this really cool spring on the property. I love that we do continued education and we're bringing people out, but I also think that we can, continue doing that with like a water sommelier, like there's a water sommelier, which sounds crazy, but, like, there's such a thing, and there's
Yes.
so many things that you can learn. So I think when we get to there, I think we might do some, like, really cool specialty glass, because the only thing with maple water is it's such a short season. We only have 6 weeks.
That
So
is
we'll
so
probably eventually sell out. So it'll be like a first come, first serve basis. Our first subscribers will essentially get it. And then, whatever retail partners, like we're in some small retail, like mom and pop organic shops and things like that and fitness studios, but it'll be a first come, first serve basis. And then once we're sold out of that, then we'll probably also offer the spring water. So
I completely forgot that I had watched once. I don't know if it was an actual documentary or just another podcast episode, but there's a guy who he is known for being a water sommelier, and he's from Germany, I believe, and he
yeah.
has water from all over the world. And the podcasts have been so interesting because he's introducing water to people that don't know anything about it, and he'll be like, "This is from this spring over here," and the differences that people will taste, like natural flavors to them, more acidic. Some will have like a little natural effervescence, like a little bit of bubbles to them, and
Yeah.
really amazing because it's like grapes in that way. When you're growing grapes for a wine, like depending on where they are and what you're growing, it's going to taste different, it's going to be different, and water is the same way.
It's wild because we've never really even thought about it. I think like water's been like the redheaded stepchild. Like everyone's like, oh, free commodity, you get it out of the sink, no big deal. So important what we're consuming. And I think there's actually water bars that are popping up. I think there's one in Connecticut and another one in Rhode Island. I think because of the sober movement that everyone's going on, the clean living movement. So there's some water bars that are popping up where you can buy different waters from different places and so interesting. Yeah, so I would have never thought that that's where we are, but like I can definitely see like the farm being a place for something like that.
Who are you hoping tries Pocono Maple
Would
water?
love to get in with the Phillies. Yes, like I'm a huge Philly girl. I would love to see it in the dugout. That would be super cool. That would be like top of the line. And I
Just
think
your
like
face
anyone.
would say that. I'm gonna tag the Phillies in this. All right, guys, make dreams happen.
Right, we're gonna like just start sending them cases of maple water and be like, and well, that and I think it makes such a huge difference too if you're in like the sports and endurance athletes. I think the Olympics, it would be super cool to see it like at the Olympics or some of the athletes drinking it and using it for their hydration. I think that that's like when I envision Pocono maple water, I envision it being something that is associated with like wellness and health and endurance athletes really using it to perform better. We get in these reviews, they'll do like a 3-day water fast and they're like, my hair scales from drinking just maple water. Like my skin, everything feels so much better. We also just get reviews of people that aren't feeling well. They've got sick relatives and they're like, I'm sending this to them. And it makes such a big difference, so quick to like get medicine and do this. But sometimes it's just like reeling it back and making it super simple. And like what I think is really unique about maple water, your body is able to recognize it and hydrate faster because of those like elements and minerals that are in it. And it's not stripped of all those properties. And it's also local, like you're getting it from your backyard. It's not taking, 6 months or 8 months to get to you. It's super fresh. There's that cellular live level, you drinking something that's alive and you're able to feel that for sure.
Oh, I love the way you said that, just that it's alive. And so then your body and how it automatically knows and connects with, and then the comparison of that of something that's been sitting in a plastic bottle or in a shelf for a long period of time. And
And it's like literally, it's stuff like I never thought about it either until I started going down this rabbit hole. And I was like, wow, how many times did I drink like Fiji water or Icelandic water and all these things? But if it's really coming from all of these far, far away places, does it really make sense? And I think that's one thing that I love about doing the farm is like people get to see where everything's coming from. And there's total transparency when it comes to maple syrup and the maple water and how we do things and how we bottle and everything. Everyone can see it. It's such a magical place. And it's got this life force behind it that is like way bigger than me. She's like her own
energy.
thing. We're
Yeah,
just we're literally the catalysts that are here to help with where she's going.
we're just visiting for a while
Yeah.
for the next chapter.
Yeah. No, and the farm, it's been a farm for over 200 years. We're just one steward in her journey. So it's incredible to be a part of that. And I think people feel that when they come on the farm, you have people that come 4 or 5 times. It's like the tour has not changed. Like we're so happy you're back. But like they're like, oh, like we just had new
Just love it.
family in town and we figured we'd pop by and have them try this syrup. And it is.
That'll be me in October.
Yes. No, for sure. It's
And I
it's one of
love
those.
that transparency. I think that there's something happening right now where everybody's questioning the things that were given and assumed of us. One of them is marketing of things and how it looks healthy. Like it looks like it's in this cool bottle and it looks like it's from that place. It says it's from that place, right? And now we're questioning, okay, well, just because it says clean, natural doesn't mean that it necessarily is. And so with that, I feel like we have to support one another where we're just asking, where are you buying from? Is it local? Is it naturally sourced? And so that transparency is everything in today.
Yeah. No, and I think that's where we're at too. With one of the pros when it comes to social media and the internet, right? You can easily find out, is there a person behind this company? I think the farther we get away from these big box companies and they're able to really cut corners and things like that. Like I get questions too, like, okay, like, you don't have maple water and you're like at a gas station. What do you do? And I'm like, I just pick whatever's the most local spring source. Like Poland Springs is in the Northeast. If I'm in the Northeast and I'm at a gas station, I'll get like whatever, because then I know that it likely was bottled not that long ago. They don't do huge, they're not supporting the entire country and they're not shipping out to like worldwide. They're usually just doing the immediate area. So that's going to be like super fresh. So I think thinking of that when it comes to like our food and everything is super important, because then you're giving yourself and your family a fresher product.
We got so used to accessibility that we stopped asking or wondering these things. And now we're returning to being curious again.
Yeah. No, it's so exciting to see. It'll be so interesting to see where we are 5 years from now, because I remember like 10, 15 years ago, the health and wellness industry being like vegan or eating raw, like it was such a like foreign concept. And now it's so mainstream and doing fasts and things like that. I think people are much more open-minded now more than they've ever been before.
To exploring themselves and figuring out what actually works for my individual unique body. Well, I wanted to ask you more about the farm. I'm so excited to visit this October. I'm bringing a group of friends. I think it's going to be amazing. But what do you want other people to know about the farm? If they wanted to visit, what might they expect? How could they do that?
Yeah, so you can come and stay on the farm. We call it a campground, but it's more like glamping. So it's 6 cabins, a pavilion a year. It sleeps about 20-25 guests. It's really fun to get a group of adults together, or family together, because everyone has their own cabins. It's basically everyone has their own space, but we have this huge fire pit. And so like everyone kind of comes and sits around the fire. And we've had some really cool reunions. We had like this musical group that came. They were like from like a college band, and they came in and they all brought instruments and they were just singing around the fire. And I think They might have been from Philly or New York. So the campground's really spectacular, really great for reunions. We also have a lake house that's also available. Sometimes people will rent both and they can stay on property and really just get away. And then if you're just in the Poconos and you're, staying at one of the resorts or at another Airbnb, we do tours and tastings Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can come out, you can learn about the farm, visit. We usually take you down the sugar shack. You can see like all the equipment and how we actually produce maple syrup and maple water. You get to try the maple water, and after we do like a whole syrup tasting. Did you get to try some of the syrups?
I did love them. So good, especially the vanilla one.
Yeah, it's
Vanilla for my coffee.
so good. It's also really good in like overnight oats or chia seeds or any of those things. So, so good. And then the elderberry, that one's like a little bit tart, but that is amazing as a salad dressing. Like you literally do like 2 teaspoons of it, olive oil, some seasonings, and shake it up, and it's like incredible. You can also just like put it on like fruits and veggies and like do like a veggie stir fry sort of thing, and it's
That would
pretty.
probably be so good with like a balsamic, like to mix a little bit of the syrup with the balsamic would
Mhm.
probably amazing.
So, so good. Yeah. So you get to try all the different syrups. We also have bourbon jalapeno maple syrup that is super popular that the guys go crazy for. Like it's incredible to grill with. You can do like dips with it, all of that stuff.
I would just want to dip my steak directly in that.
No, it's so, so good. So yeah, you get to come out, you get to try all the syrups. We usually have some different maple products too from other local farms. We try to have some stuff out. And then depending on the season, every quarter we usually have something going on. So right now the girls are prepping for July 3rd. I think we're doing like a 4th of July thing. We'll do probably a fall fest. So it really just depends on the time of year you're coming out. There's always yoga too on Thursdays and Saturdays, which is really fun and just super magical. I was telling you about it. It's just, if you're around, it's one of the best places to do yoga in the country. I swear. I've done yoga in California and Sedona and all these places. But it's pretty magical because you're just surrounded by nature and just looking at the trees and the animals, and it's just you and the instructor and maybe like a few other people, but it's a super unique setting. So definitely come out to the farm and see. And I think what's cool is you can see where your water's coming from and where your products are coming from, which I think is there's so much I don't know, gray area in most of the beverage industry. It could be sourced here, 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 here. And you see like 4 sourcing points and you're like, but why can't you just tell me where this was? So yeah, I think that's something that's really cool too, is just being able to be like, oh, this is the maple water that I'm drinking is coming right from this land.
I think it's such an amazing thing too, because when I think of all the families that I work with, obviously the Poconos is it's an easy, convenient drive. It's beautiful. You can do lots of different things, but they get frustrated because for the kids, there's pretty limited options. It's like that water park that's out there is the biggest one. And then like, obviously like sledding and stuff when it's cold enough for it. But an option like this where they get to learn something that's science and hands-on and they get to learn something completely new.
Yeah.
Yeah, all families should know that that's a local thing here in PA you can go and do.
Yeah, and what's great is if it's like a big family, it's the 5-year-old loves it and the 92-year-old grandma loves it. Like everybody in the family can really
Bring 'em all.
learn and enjoy it. Whereas I feel like it's either like very adult friendly or very kid friendly or, so what's nice is everybody loves maple syrup.
Everybody, yeah. And about the yoga too, I know when I met Courtney, that was one of the first things that she brought up, that it was her favorite thing as well. And I can't wait to see it. And checking out the yoga is going to be on the top of my list.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Another question I wanted to ask you is, as a woman in business and also somebody that's leading so much in community, what are some of the things that you do for health, for wellness? What's maybe some advice that you would give?
Right now, it's like whenever I can fit in health and wellness, the maple water is incredible. So like whenever I have it, I was just telling you before we got on this call, I actually have none here in Florida right now. But whenever I do have it, I always try to start my day with it because I definitely see a big difference. Just like staying hydrated. That's the biggest thing, right? I feel like we get throughout our day and somehow or another, I never drink enough water, which sounds so crazy.
Especially for hormone health. That's something I'm learning more about myself and working with a lot of my female clients. That's such a simple thing, but a huge thing, particularly for women to have as part of our daily self-care.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is I try to at least get to yoga or meditate like 3 times a week. If I don't, I can feel like I'm like getting crazy. Whereas if I get to my yoga and I get to like meditate at least 3 days a week, I try to put it in my calendar. Like these are my 3 days. And like
Yeah.
it's like a meeting, like I'm going. That really kind of helps set the tone, I think. But it's so hard. You know, we live in such a busy society. I think that's another reason why I love going up to the farm and working out of the farm and being there, because you're able to really just ground. And I think finding that time where you can just be in nature is also super important. I guess those are like the three big things that I do is I try to do yoga pretty regularly and meditate and definitely move and hydrate as much as I can these days. I used to do triathlons. I usually am going to do a triathlon like every 2 years. So
Nice.
I am like coming up. I was actually supposed to do one the end of June, but life has gotten way too crazy for me to really try to.
I gotta pick your brain about that sometime. I just got into my friend Sandy, she's killing the game. She got me motivated into running. So I've been, for the past 2 weeks, I've been going on runs 3 times a week. It's hard to start. So I would love to pick your brain about how you built up to that and what that experience has been like for training for you sometimes.
I think the biggest thing for me is like I just sign up and then it's like, all right, girl, like you got 8 months to get your life together. Like it is time.
That thing's coming.
Yeah. Otherwise, like it's just like it's just too hard. Like I'm just like, tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm like, next week it won't be so crazy. Whereas when I sign up for something, then I'm like, oh no, we got 8 months. Like it is time. Like you have to start now. Otherwise, like there's no BSing it. Like I think that that's what's hard about the triathlons is you can show up to a 5K and you can run a couple times and you can kind of like get through it and you're fine. But the triathlon, like you got to really train. And I think that I like kind of getting forced to like, be my best. So I'm
Yes, that
hoping
commitment
that I
sounds
can
like
get
it pushes you
I like
to
it's
show
it's
up
been in the back
for
of
your
my
best
mind,
self.
like, so maybe I'll get you to sign up with me.
Do it, girl. Maybe we will. And you mentioned where will we be in 5 years? We'll probably do a recap of this episode and see exactly that. Where are
Yes.
we in 5 years? And where's the wellness industry in 5 years? Final question. Where can people find information?
So you can subscribe or you can actually just buy a case. There's a few places in Philly that we sell it. There's mostly like small organic shops and some Pilates studios and things like that. But then on the farm side, it's Pocono mtnmaple.com. So poconomountainmaple.com. You can Google it, ChatGPT, our tours and tastings will come up. All of that stuff is on the internet and social media. We're always trying to post some stuff there as well. And then, we're very community driven. So if you have something that you're super excited about and, you're doing a triathlon and you're looking for sponsors, definitely shoot us a DM, send us a message. Like we're happy to be out in the community, especially within the Northeast and like the Philly and the New York and the New Jersey areas, just because like those are our people. That's like our backyard. So we want to be able to support everybody. So if there's something cool going on and you want us to be there, we're happy to come out.
Yeah, you're definitely the people to reach out to. I was saying we started recording that you surprised us at our last event and Courtney came by with special gifts and it made us feel so special and loved. And I love seeing everybody being able to
Yes.
try
No,
it and
awesome.
just
No, I'm
learn
so
something
glad
so
that
new and
she was
cool
able to
about
pop
our
out. No,
state.
thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today. And I'll get your info afterwards, but I did want to show you something pretty cool on here that it's kind of kismet because we were talking about it a little bit. So I'm going to be asking you for where I can
Oh,
mail you and Courtney a special little gift of
I love
a
it.
fun little maple leaf that I made for Courtney. And then this one, which I
Yeah.
said kismet because we happened, and it's not framed, so it's a little bit rough.
Oh,
But
that's
we had talked about it a number
stunning.
of
Oh my
times
goodness, look
today.
at you're so talented.
I just wanted to get because
Oh,
you've just had an outpouring of support and love, and it's been amazing to connect with you and get to know you. And I haven't been able to visit the farm yet, but I'm
you are
already
so
thinking of it
sweet.
and
Thank
super
you
excited. So
so
I just wanted
much.
to
That is
make you guys a little something
so
from the heart.
adorable. I love it. I like cannot wait. And I can't wait to hug and squeeze you hopefully in October when you're up in the Poconos. But I might get to Philly sometime
Yeah,
soon. Maybe especially if the Phillies end up in the World Series because like as soon as I can, I'm usually down there.
read my mind.
Yes, we'll
They
order in our
have a good summer. We should
backpacks and
catch
we'll
you.
try to get some in the dugout. Exactly.
Always representing. All right, guys. Well, thank
Thanks.
you for being here. We'll catch you on the next episode.